I would have liked them to swap. I think that I didn't mind it the second time, right, in Game 2. I think that's warranted. But going back to the last series, comparing that to this one, BNK's prep was impeccable. And even that, it was still a very close-fought series. Right? Went to 5 games, was a really nail-biting back and forth. And this makes me wonder if BNK are not just getting hamstrung by the fact that Vikla has not been able to get the better of Showmaker, which I think was with those counter picks. Showmaker has been able to get very comfortable matchup every time. And we've seen that really have a big impact as the bans towards Shiyu continue. Who I want to echo what Dit was saying. I think this playoffs has really been on an exceptional run thus far, even in the series that DK has not been able to win, just on an individual level. And for BNK, Diablo's got to step it up. Maybe him on a hyper carry, try a protect the president style composition, because they got to try something else. The normal tools haven't been working. And I would be very disappointed if the final Rise Group best of 5 is just to freeze it. We deserve more. That's not what we want.
Wouldn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
Because I know we always meme like Rise Group doesn't make sense, but we get games.
Yeah. We get back and forth. Best of series. As we do not have a Zir band, we do not have Wukong band. And so far, we do not have Taliyah band either. DK, after 2 winning games, say, let's change everything up here.
So you ban Wukong, and then you can just pick whichever they leave open. I think both Taliyah and Azir are extremely good right now. And okay, well, banning Trundle kind of puts them in a position where they can pick 1, you can pick 2. So if they pick Azir, you pick Taliyah, and you pick Wukong, which is crazy good. But if you end up with Azir into Taliyah, even though the matchup is a bit rough, you're not going to be sad. So I think that BNK are hard forced into picking the Wukong here, but that means you give Azir over. And it looks like instead they are going to take the Azir away from Showmaker. Azir, I think, considered probably the best mid laner on the patch, has basically been permat throughout most of it. And now the expectation is that Wukong Taliyah will follow.
Yeah, I think you have to. You don't necessarily have to pick the Taliyah right here, no. Just because they're not going to play Taliyah jungle with Azir or something weird. So you could just pick Wukong and then make a choice. I am surprised that BNK didn't pick the Wukong and then just take whatever mid laner was left over. They just really prioritized the Azir that much.
And that, to me, comes down to respect for Showmaker, who has been performing really well this playoffs, worried that if he gets the Azir, matchup is going to be unplayable. You're not going to have mid lane prio, which really locks up the map. And yeah, they can wait, right? They can just pick it up on the next one. I would love Rakan, but I do think Rakan blinding is a lot more risky. And there is the potential for Sylas, obviously, when you lock in Alistar, but like, do you really want to slam Sylas jungle this early? I don't know. Obviously, you do know the matchup that you have in the jungle, but also even though the Wukong ult is good, I also think playing Sylas into Wukong is just kind of annoying with the clone and the fact that he can cyclone you when you go in.
Looking at Renekton.
Clear special.
So Renekton locked in. And will they just round out the top side of the map? That's what you would imagine. Some kind of good answer into Wukong.
Or Diablo pick, like an Ezreal maybe? Something with a lot of safety. And a Fury for Raptor. He's been exceptional on this pick. They used it as a counter to the Vi Ahri that we saw, if I remember correctly, from DK. Worked wonders there. But into Wukong, it doesn't feel quite as good as...
Shiyu has sunk into his chair.
Krakus angle.
Zoe angle?
Oh my god, please. Please. It's going to be Taliyah, but we could dream for just a little bit there, Valdes. Although
Showmaker's really good at Zoe too.
He is really good at Zoe, but I also understand you don't want to... You know how like you don't want to be just after the guy that aced the test and you have to do the test?
Yeah, true.
And I forgot what BDD's KDA was, but I do know it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Taliyah. Also, Taliyah has a good matchup into the Azir. Talia, I think, is good into the whole composition that BNK have thus far. And it also allows Showmaker to have side lane impact. Now Band's going to be bot lane focused here on particularly DK's side, as there is the Leona takeaway. And I kind of wonder like what else you would want to take away. We've seen Xayah a lot in these type of compositions. I think Xayah also gained some value because you have Rakan still up for now. And you are also not worried about Ziggs, because Ziggs is gone, which is one of the worst matchups.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout. Xayah kind of gets rid of both. Ornn going to be banned away. Could have been a potential angle to deal with this blind Renekton.
I'm like contemplating what DK want to go for here, as Renata also gets taken away. Because I was kind of expecting them going for maybe Jhin here, which I have not been a big fan of aiming's Jhin. I feel like DK doesn't play around it that well. I don't think the pick suits aiming well. But it would make sense with the rest of the composition. They already have a good amount of damage from jungle and from the mid lane, and they're also going to pick a carry, I think is the reality of the situation here. Because there aren't really a lot of tanks available, as there is the Sivir takeaway. Not going to come through for aiming here. So we should be picking up Shiu's pick here.
Yeah. And then you get
oh, please. Please
Mordekaiser?
Come on, Shiu.
Olaf?
Ooh. He's been liking this pick a lot.
Well, he gives us the peace sign and then hovers the Jace. And it does look like the Jace is going to be the choice.
A lot of faith being put in his team here, or being put in him by his team here, as he gets the matchup. I do think the Xayah suffers a little bit from playing into Jace. I do think Jace is one of those matchups that make your life rough, but Rakan should come as no surprise with everything on the line, and I love that pick. If I remember correctly, I think I saw it getting, it gets like 20 range buff on the next patch, which is kind of ridiculous. This is a lot more of an aiming pick though. I think that the matchup for this into the BNK comp is a lot of high risk, but you're playing a dive comp, kind of dive-ish comp anyway. Outside of the Jace, you are going to be committed. That I would not like. I do not. I'm not even remotely on board. Because this is one of those things where you're like, oh, you know, you got Alistar for the AoE CC. You have lane prio, like it's a really good lane matchup. You have Wukong, you know, this big wombo combo. You can play with the shove. In practice, though, doesn't aiming just like try to walk up auto once and then just die?
Pretty much, yeah. He's just going to be an ult bot and
then again,
try his best to do something.
I think aiming has already been struggling, and maybe they just need him to be an ult bot. And they want to play towards top side. This is a very self-sufficient lane. Level 1 is obviously a bit rough, but MF definitely has a ton of pressure here in the 2v2. So we'll have to see. And for Diablo fans, this is his final moment for redemption. As highlighted, this is, I'd argue, the most pressure he's been under in his career. In game 1 and 2, I think it kind of got to him.
Yeah, not having the best series so far, but maybe the Xayah Rakan can have him pull it across the line. Gonna get Supreme Comfort for Raptor as well, back on the Nefiri. And it's backs against the wall now. They gotta win from here. They gotta reverse sweep if they want to move on to the next round. Otherwise, Dplus Kia will take that spot. Let's jump onto the Rift for game number 3.
수환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Okay, game number 3. Last chance, first last chance here for the side of BNK. And we'll see if we get a series on our hands at any point tonight, or if DK were just the better team all along, and prove it here in game 3.
Well, the best of 5 between these two team and play-ins being still fresh in our minds. BNK, I think, really blowing us away back then with really good prep.
생성되었습니다.
But it was more than just the prep, right? Because we talk a lot about the draft, and I think particularly in Fearless, that's always warranted. But they also were just good. There was really clean objective setups. They had what I think was the cleanest Otacon we'd seen in Rise Group the entire year, which was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Remember that one where they just had Raptor like do it and the rest of the team was just meticulously peeling and then...
It's like what we wanted from them in game 1, and then they just kind of dropped the ball.
The first 15 minutes were peak.
The ball's been on the ground. They never picked it up again.
No, it's still, we can see it, in fact.
And Oriana's been banned every game.
And that can't be how the final Rise versus Rise matchup pans out. That just can't be it.
Just wouldn't make any sense.
It'd be disappointing is what it is. As unfortunately, even though MF is strong, he does also have the giant walking cow cannon minion. That is Alistair. So he's going to have to...
At least it heals.
Yeah, give up control. You also have to be very careful about taking too much damage, because Raptor will try to dive you if you are too low. So you have to be really careful with trading too much health if you are the bot lane of DK. And obviously Shiu wants to just bully the Renekton as much as possible. Jace really hasn't been great, but this is not the best matchup for Renekton, as obviously he won't be able to take control of lane early. That happens in a lot of matchups, but it's also just consistently really hard to reliably get on top of the Jace. And Shiu also, I think with the Conqueror in particular, like early game, will just win the poke, win the all-in, and until or unless he gets ganked or pressured, we'll just be doing this the whole time.
Just
not very fun for the Renekton.
Yeah, just shooting the Croc over and over. Wukong on a 5-game winning streak. 2 of those were Cuz. One of them was Lucid. He's playing it here up against Raptor, who was another one of the wins. His bottom lane seems to be going pretty well for the side of BNK. Just a lot of pressure coming in from the Rakan, and then you've got Diablo ready to step up at any time.
The lane position is really awkward here for DK, because the lane is pushing away from them, but they are kind of losing the 2v2. We'll see if they're able to fix it, but this is looking very good for Diablo and Kalinir early on, and they have not been able to really showcase us the same performance as Lucid. Looking for a dive here towards Clear.
Yeah, meanwhile, we got to play in mid, but yeah, it's going to be a quick first blood going the way of DK as Showmaker just accepts his fate. Doesn't even flash. He says, I'm too far up the lane here, and it gets traded back.
Kind of wondering what happened to Showmaker, though. I think maybe because he TP'd already. So I don't know if he TP'd early because he took a couple of bad trades, or if he, like, just TP'd in and then tried to bully Vikla as much as possible, but just got bobbed by Raptor. As we take another look here, Shiu gets the cash in, and yeah, Renekton, unfortunately, this early on, not that much he can do. The fact he flashes, I think, very unfortunate. And yeah, Showmaker looking for a trade because Vikla's low. And good call, yeah, not to flash. There's just no way you ever live there. He didn't have cooldowns, but even if he did, I don't think Raptor should ever get hit by a knockback because he's Neferi, so he can just go invulnerable. The one upside for BNK is that kill top went to Lucid, which it's not good because it's bad on Wukong. But like, imagine if Shiu also had a kill on top of the lead he already has. That would have been... Like that, at that point, you just basically have to come top lane, or you are just getting pummeled.
We don't see all that much Jace nowadays, and we have had our decent share of... Okay, well, Vikla's just going to face check here and might be in some trouble, has to flash. Not sure what the idea was there, but yeah, we haven't seen all that much Jace, and so sometimes you forget just how powerful he can be in the lane, and I think this gives you an excellent opportunity to maybe carry another game. You know, he got fed on Ambessa, was able to carry that game. Got fed on Sion, was able to carry that game, although that was definitely a team effort. And now you put him in this matchup where you give him counter pick and he's playing Jace. It's definitely a good angle for Shiu enjoyers.
And this is how he started the year, but it's definitely not the form we saw in the middle. And for BNK, it again makes me wonder, wasn't red side the answer? in this one. Maybe getting a counter pick instead of going for these, yes, very safe and pretty defendable or easily defended Blight picks as Showmaker.
Well, now it's his turn to face check just a bit. Level 5 is Raptor, but still a lot of damage coming down. As in we go, the Rakan jumping on in, and that's going to be aiming Force to flash away.
That's a really big win. Nicely done there by the 2v2 for BNK. As Raptor, Lucid is alone, but does have W, so should be fine. Does take some damage for his effort. You cannot be contesting this crab. Showmaker does have ult, so maybe they want to look for a delayed play here.
Well, it seems like they're doing something of the sort as it's going to be Beryl in a lot of trouble, gets swept up, and looks like he should be a casualty here. Down he goes, kill given over to Raptor, who is now 2-0.
Yeah, I thought Showmaker was going to ult in at some point. But now I'm wondering, did he not level ult? Did he like level Q instead? I mean, because
I think that would be kind of a bad idea.
He
doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Well, he did have access to it. I'm pretty sure he's still holding on to the skill point. But it kind of makes me wonder if that was a miscommunication there, because I feel like they really wanted to play for that. Aim doesn't have a flash.
Not quite able to get the feathers on the right angle, and it was a good knock up from Beryl to deny the pullback. So trying to use the level 6 spike was Diablo, hiding on bush.
And gonna take another look at the play here. As Lucid does hit 6 off of this, which kind of made me contemplate for a second whether they want to fight. But like,
Showmaker's too far away.
You don't have mid lane, and your bot lane doesn't have prio. So it is just a kill for Crab, which you're obviously going to be very happy with to take. As now we have the fight for the grubs here. Lucid is 6. And yeah, Wukong into this assassin. He's always going to have a very fun time when it comes to the pure 1v1.
Yeah. Especially with the top lane the way it is, and a TP coming in from Showmaker means that Lucid should be able to get all of these. All 3 of the grubs. Eventually.
Down the line.
Yeah.
At some point. As we'll have to see if there's any counterplay that can be found here, or particularly playing around Raptor. Right, that's kind of what we're looking towards. Can they utilize the relatively fed... Although when you look at the gold, because Lucid also got a kill, the lead isn't that big, but it's still pretty big Neferi. And then Vikla has actually been able to build up a decent CS. I think he snuck into the brush there. They don't know about this.
Now let's see if they can collapse here. A lot of vision in their face, but the Rakan able to get the engage, and Beryl immediately presses that Unbreakable Will and says no.
I do really like that. One of my pet peeves with Alistar is where they like hold the ult, and then by the time they use it, they are just dead.
They're low enough, and they just get chipped away at. Yeah.
The problem that we haven't talked about in a while is top lane, and I don't think it's going to get better for Clear, unfortunately, as this is a wave that's being prepped. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's just going to go forward instead. He says, I'll just die over here instead of under the turret.
I mean, that's all you can do. Like, get the minions. That you were never living there.
Yeah.
So you might as well...
Denied an assist from Lucid.
But it still feels very bad. As Showmaker finally... I remember hearing about the... I forgot where it was, but hearing about the tech of just holding on to the point in your ultimate until you actually need it. Which does make sense, right? Because if you're Talia, you're not ulting someone. There's not really a point. Aiming also just clearing the wave, being like, yeah, I'm not pretending to play the video game.
Yeah.
I'm not needed. It's all topside here for DK. As yeah, if it's 2 people, like maybe you can live as Renekton if you get really find the big outplay, but just take the wave and take the death. Unfortunately, there for Clear, and that's now a 1,000 gold lead chase.
Yeah. So the thing, I mean, you're giving this to not only the champion, but the specific player who we know can carry in these pressure situations now. He has really leveled up over the course of play-ins and playoffs. and deserves that amount of respect. But Clear thought he could handle it with a blind pick Renekton, and we're seeing that the answer is absolutely not. Not so far.
BNK, at least Diablo's in a decent spot. They weren't really able to like push the lead further. They didn't have any dives or any actual punishment, which again at MF I think will always be hard. But also makes me kind of appreciate, I thought that DK was going to try and play towards this MF a lot more, but she is just being used as basically like bot lane rumble. You know, it's fine, just have your ult ready for when we need it. Clear waves, absorb CS, don't drop too many plates.
Yeah.
There isn't too much you can do. Is now Triforce done for Lucid. Shiu, of course, already got on the previous back that Ghost Blade. And top lane is going to keep bleeding. And like, I really also don't feel like any of Clear's gameplay has been an issue. He's just, he got dove, and I got dove again.
Yeah, he's just playing Renekton into Jace. As now he's going to get in range, and just gets kited out.
Oh no, okay, that was not good.
And now Lucid's coming in.
Oh no, not the war timing. That feels so bad.
Just wait for Kellen. Surely you can just play safe top. It's okay. He's going to flash away, and he gets cycloned again. And Kellen never gets there on time, not in a million years. So that's going to be another kill. And this one goes over to Lucid once again.
And there's no cross map. Because Kellen used his time to try and still salvage Clear's position. So they can't collapse on the aiming. Who again also has both the summoners available. There's also a Talia in mid, so could rotate over. So what did they get? Like, I think Raptor got an invade off. That's something. But BNK, I think really looking out of sorts in this one, and Shiu is just becoming a complete win condition package. A single shot blast from him hitting now is just going to take Diablo out of a fight, by the way.
Yep.
Like, Zaya's not going to get to play the game until much later.
You don't need Ziggs if you have Omega fed Jace. It's not quite old school Jace, but it still gets the job done if you have enough money.
Oh, are they just going to dive bot now? No, no, leave Clear alone. Come on. He suffered enough!
What do you mean? You gotta follow the croc.
No!
Yes!
Oh,
Punish again!
He's so dead.
Yeah, there's no winning. They're even gonna
just
heal their way
diving.
in! It's, yeah, might as well, I guess, as now trying to make a play in mid. They're trying to get Shiu, but instead it's Raptor who's in a lot of trouble, but actually baits him in as Kellen does join the fight. Showmaker is pretty low, but he is going to get away just barely.
And I'm getting increasingly worried that we're just watching our final Rise versus Rise battle end with a win. That can't be the way, Feldas. We gotta get a resurgence here. Maybe an Otacon play from DK could pull it back in favor of BNK, obviously, because it's Otacon. So
yeah,
because that bot lane dive means that's Feats going over. That's Shiu making the play in mid, right? Making sure that Showmaker doesn't end up going down. They do get a bunch of summoners, but a lot of invested by BNK themselves. And now bot lane. Outer is gone. They were unable to trade in top, even though Vikla attempted it. BNK, I think, again, in this game as well, not really able to deal with the pressure.
Yeah. Game's not over. We've seen that...
Oh, anything is possible.
Our games have been, especially game one, was all over the place. But that was BNK with the lead, and they kind of threw that, and DK were the solid team. DK were the solid team again in game two, so...
That's the really worrying part.
Yeah. There is a trend, as Diablo just doesn't have his Feather Storm, so he has to flash after Beryl came in.
Yeah, they're not contesting any... He's playing into Wukong. And Talia, like, you just don't...
It's BNK, though. I could see a world where they're like, no, we're going to fight this, and then they just get absolutely boomed, which certainly worries me for their chances. They're not going to fight over this objective, of course. Maybe the next one.
You can do it, Showmaker. Crap's just kind of stuck there as a...
Yeah. All right, nice knockback to delay the sweep, but it doesn't quite matter as Shiu is going to go down. Redemption comes in. Lucid also goes down. And it's a 3-0 Nafiri. And Vikla got a shutdown. Just look at that massive gap in mid lane now.
There it is. Look at that gold lead, Feldas.
What gold lead?
Exactly! Diablo does have his ultimate available, so even in the worst scenario, should just be able to ult out of the tough position, as he does. Look at Raptor, though. He's on the flank.
You mean ult in, right? As Beryl, yeah, he's going to have to press that Unbreakable Will. And yeah.
That redemption, I think, actually saved that play. Otherwise, Shield will stay alive for a little bit longer. Lucid gets the counter kill. But I want you to look at the value that they get here from just Kellen finding it. And the man advantage means that Lucid probably should have just dipped. Instead, tries to get the counter kill there onto Vikla, which is even more gold going into the pockets of BNK, and then they get the top lane turret as well, which means that they might be looking for Dragon here, but DK is there to contest. Can they?
We got TPs coming in. Showmaker
He has to flash
an item, and he's
dead.
dead. Yeah, so the TP is able to get in behind, and Showmaker just kind of dies. So Drake going their way, BNK that is.
So that's double Dragon. They got a giant gold lead now onto Vikla. Showmaker has been made very uncomfortable and will remain so, I think, for the foreseeable future on this Taliyah. With the BNK angle. We're getting there, Valdez.
Somehow these two teams just find a way, you know?
Raptor has 2 items at 17 minutes. That's a big Neferi.
It is.
That's a scary dog.
Can kind of do whatever he wants. She
Yeah,
was
now
running very far away.
She was not safe because he knows he can get dove very easily. If there's no one in the area to protect him, and Claire's like, now you know how it feels, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still a hard game for BNK because I do think that Wukong is just kind of busted. But these skirmishers look a lot better. 2 dragons is big.
Really, a lot of the onus in this one will come down to Vikla. If he can actually carry with his lead that he has on, you know, we talk a lot about how Wukong is very OP, and he is, but we never get to see Azir because he's also really OP, and you know, it really comes down to Vikla, who has been put on stuff like Morgana and Annie every series.
I do love this lane assignment.
Can he do it?
Both Showmaker and Claire are just like, yeah, I know how it feels, buddy. Showmaker didn't quite get focused as much as Claire did, I would say, but still got visited a good amount of times. Mid lane, turret would be big here for DK. Herald comes down.
It's a lot of chip damage in a barrel. Now the Herald kind of up against a rock and a hard place. Has to kind of curl around, and there it is. We'll take down the mid turret with like 300 health left. And Lucid gets out alive, of course.
A little close. Second item done for Shiu as well. Diablo, I think the breakpoint for him is going to be free. So that's still a good amount of time away. But Raptor and Vikla are insanely strong right now. And even when put behind, Renekton, one good flash W and some cooldowns getting forced. You know, just diving into the backline. If you end up dying, as long as you create space for Raptor and Vikla, it doesn't really matter that much. Just one more games, Valdez.
It might just happen.
I do hope so, yeah.
BNK have found a way to pull it back.
Can't just be a free 0.
Nobody predicted 3-0 either way.
Nobody.
For a reason.
Because it shouldn't be.
It's just, it's not okay. We can't have it be a thing.
They did 2-0 and 3-0 each other a lot. Well, not 3-0, I guess, but they did 2-0 each other a lot. So maybe it's just a day-by-day thing. Okay, we're by we, I mean DK is going to have to deal with this other con, because BNK is starting it. Aiming is running, but they have so much, it might just be gone. Like, look at where Lucid is. I think this is just gone.
They do this so quickly, especially with Diablo on it now, as it's down to 6K, and everybody's so far away. Lucid is nowhere to be seen, and this is just going to be a free Otacon going the way of BNK. Beryl says maybe a little, some free steak as well on top of it, is not quite. Clear is going to have to flash here in mid. Meanwhile, the follow-up engage comes in. The Featherstorm utilized. Diablo just flashing out of there. He wants none of this. Chiu just kind of dead. Raptor, though, going to get engaged on. Goes invulnerable. Now he's going deep for another one. Gets another kill. And he's out! Incredible aiming. It's just going to ult into the abyss as he was caught. And Raptor showing this Nefiri's power. 6-0 after that fight.
Otacon alone would have been a big win. But guess what? BNK not done with this series just yet. As, oh my god, Raptor. As we take another look here, first the attempt from DK to collapse onto the Renekton. That doesn't quite work out. It's the turn here that I thought, even though Lucid gets charmed immediately, doesn't get that much. He gets a lot of cooldowns. But then I think here, Shield just overextends into Vikla, ends up getting taken low, and then Raptor with these reasons. I thought he was dead. That play looks like it shouldn't work, but guess what? It does. And when it gets messy, the mobility of the BNK team and the fact that they weren't able to take down Clear, I lose a lot of cooldowns on him. As let's take a look at the first-person view here.
Got Jace. It's looking good. No flash on Talia. A handshake. They're believers now. Please, one game.
They got soul point as well off of that play. I think that's enough.
Kind of feels like the game fell out of a, I don't know. Like there was a trap door or something and DK fell out the bottom and then that was it. Being
yeah,
like,
well,
oh, okay.
It is, I'm always cautious. We did have game one where it kind of went back and forth a lot of times, but I think BNK's teamfight is so good in this one, as we did see Soulpoint being taken as...
All right, gonna find Diablo on the front side, but he is Zaya, so yeah, he's gonna get hit by the aggressive redemption. But there's no objectives on the map at this point, so I am not sure that they care too much about that.
Getting the ultimate is nice, but it doesn't do enough by itself, as there we look again, that mid lane gold lead, Veldas.
What is that?
DK thought, it's fine, we can give Azir, and then we'll take Talia. That's a good... He's down 2 levels. He's down 3k gold. As it turns out, it did not work. And DK, I think, going to continue having a bad time in this one. But the main character, as well as Vikla's been playing, is obviously going to be Raptor. On this Nefiri,
he can't be punished. Like, he just runs into the bush and just puts down a ward and says, okay, you know, if you try to do anything, I just go up in the air.
We can't even slander him because he doesn't even build Sundered Sky.
Yeah.
There's no slander angle.
He's one of the only guys that consistently plays Nefiri as well. So it's not even like, oh yeah, this champ is just OP. Like if he was playing Wukong and doing this, would be like, yeah, you know, he's really utilizing the strength of a really strong character. No, he's just
good.
Really good at Nefiri.
It's just good.
It's just good. There's no angle.
Lucid has been continuously looking for these backline plays. But it does go back to, I think, him and Shiu getting caught out towards the top side. Ooh, that is on a deep angle. Will get spotted there. That is going to be just a bit of a pullback here for BNK. We are nearing Baron, which we have seen some teams go a little bit overeager, but like the level leads are just insane. And this is, I think, the biggest advantage of that Otacon. Level lead in top, almost 2-level lead in jungle, 2-level lead in mid. It's big. It's a lot of cooldowns, a lot of stats that are available here for BNK as well. Like, look at the flashes. Will be all up for them. Meaning actually punishing Diablo is going to be so much harder.
Yeah, I'm not really sure they can do it. I mean, they have to find a really good angle. They have to pop the cooldowns, and then they have to follow up. Like, first Cyclone has to force everything, and then second Cyclone or like an Alistair follow-up needs to get in there. It's very difficult to go that deep.
Has GA.
You remember, you were talking about the Zaya ban.
Yeah.
And it just feels like if he was playing anything else, maybe they would have access to this AD carry, but They just don't, and there's two other big threats. So it's very difficult for DK from this position from behind to actually find engages. As speaking of which, engage from the side of BNK.
They're so strong. They have GA, free items as
goes. Just gonna press the buttons on aiming, I suppose. Raptor gonna force redemption.
She was on the flank.
He does have Bloodthirster. So that doesn't do a whole lot. Now the wall's gonna come down, that flank comes in. The knockback doesn't hit anything.
Clear's there.
Yeah, Clear gonna find that angle, and now the front line all charmed up. Showmaker not a part of this fight as they try to get out to Diablo, but the wall comes up from the Azir, and they shut the door in their face. As Ian goes loose and just desperate for something, they will take down Clear with an ult from aiming, so that is one. As Lucid, kind of a very short pull on that clone, but he will be okay.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get over the wall, but doesn't have to use cooldowns. 1-for-1 trade, the best you can get, but that might also be a setup for the Dragon here. We'll see DK. The timing, I think, here is just okay for them. I think they might be able to make it back. As we take another look, if Showmaker actually gets Diablo there, but almost gets the wall knock-up into the other knock-up, could have been big. Instead, Showmaker ends up taking a lot of damage. The front line just gets shredded by Vikla, by Raptor, by Diablo. But Beryl, even though he ends up going down, I think still creates the space that allows him to take down Clear. Clear definitely going a little bit too deep there. We'll see though, they need to contest this. Oh, never mind, they have Soul. I'm like, they need to no, it's
yeah.
gone. I thought that maybe with the gate and the fact that Clear wasn't there, they could do something, but not the case.
So just Ocean Soul.
Yeah, Jace doesn't mind that, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
It would definitely help if Showmaker was
a champion.
Was a champion right
He's
now.
not. Yeah.
He's really not. I mean, he's gone full utility.
It's so funny with Taliyah Pantheon where I feel like when we do see them, we're like, is this it? Why are they getting perma-banned?
Yeah.
What's happening? As Lucid, all or nothing here. You got to steal this one. Otherwise, BNK are going to bring us to a next game. Oh, he doesn't have clone. Well, I'll have to flash.
Yeah, and it just looks like he is going to get knocked up. There's the... Oh, goes over to Zaya. Very close there, actually. But Lucid will bite the dust, and this is going heavily in favor of BNK after the take of the Baron, as they will take it down. Showmakers in the bottom lane.
They knew.
And the game looks to be over, guys.
Yeah, Showmaker, like the hard commit to try and, you know, steal and or get an exit kill while Showmaker isn't there. BNK bounce back in a big way. Make sure that we don't actually. He's gonna
wall.
Will they be able to stall? I don't think it really matters.
We're gonna buy like 5 seconds.
Might be enough.
In they go. Flash away from Showmaker. Spending a lot of time chasing.
It's not enough.
The Taliyah. And aiming is gonna spawn. I mean, the turret is still alive. And there's the ult on the wave. Everybody has to kind of flash out of there. At least Raptor did.
Beryl's dead.
Beryl is dead. Nexus turret is gonna fall. BNK have to play this one out very carefully, as aiming just gonna disappear. And it looks like maybe the wallets are just big enough as they get the knock up there onto the chase. And we will be having a series on our hands. It's actually happening here as DK not able to close out a lead, and BNK take game number 3.
I knew Rice Group wouldn't let us down, as it is Vikla having a wonderful game on the Azir.